When it comes to good combat blades, you gotta love a good Tanto knife. In this video, we're gonna be looking at the Taliban Takedown from Tops Knives. Stick around. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for taking time to click on this video. I do hope you find it helpful. Let's get rolling. As you may know, I've been plowing the Tops reviews over the last few months. Man, we've taken a look at the Cat, the Lion's Toothpick, the California Cobra, the Unzipper, the Mighty Loner, the Saw 02, and today we're going to be looking at the Taliban Takedown. This is an awesome blade with a great design and a good backstory. And here she is, shining beautifully in the sunlight. I want to give you more of a accurate look here of the color. The sun kind of makes it look a little bit lighter than it really is. Isn't that gorgeous? This design came from soldiers working out in the field, looking for something that could penetrate a lot of layers, something that was easily accessible, and something that could be easily sharpened out in the field, as this is a chisel grind. I like how this is evenly designed, and what I mean by that is the handle and the blade length are very equal. This is 8.5 inches, and we've got a 4.5 inch blade. You're always going to get a solid coating on these 1095 Tops blades. Super thick. And this old boy right here is down with the thickness. Now let's talk about the handle. This feels really good in my large glove size. Now, if you have an XL or a double XL, I want you to kind of get a look of what you're going to be dealing with here. Some of you guys, you got hands that stretch out to right here. You're going to have to choke up on this a lot more, but I still think the handle is a good size. And like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of knives that have a long handle, especially a handle that's significantly longer than their blade. I just don't like the way that looks. I am loving the look of the Taliban Takedown. Some of you may be wondering what my fascination is with Tops knives as of late. Well, I'll come right out and tell you that a lot of it comes down to their carry options. Now, I think their blade designs are just solid. You always get beautiful stuff with them. You get beautiful micarta handles, different types of blades, different colors. Everything just looks nice and solid, but the carry options gives us a lot to talk about. Now, I like to stay balanced on my channel. I will always review budget blades, and I will always review blades like this. I don't consider Tops a budget knife. I do think that Tops sheaths and their carry options stand out apart from just about everybody else. And you're always going to get a good lock-in, but this is what I want to talk about. These rotating spring steel clips are hard to beat. When I get dressed in the morning, depending upon what it is, and I look at my knife collection and I decide what I'm going to carry for that day, every time I grab a Tops knife, it's just something that I can carry proudly. So take your pick. You can wear this on your side. You can turn this, wear it scout carry. You can wear it across your back. You can angle it. You can set it at an angle like this. Ride with it this way or the other way. You can spin this clip and do whatever you want to do, or you can even do pocket carry. For example, what I'm going to do with this knife is I'm going to turn it around this way. I'm going to drop it down in my pocket, and I have two options. I'm going to put it in my pocket like this. I'm going to clip it down. It's locked in there nice and tight. I can draw this from the ice pick grip, or I can put it in my pocket, and I can even draw a reverse grip. I can do a reverse grip with a knife that's not designed for that, all because I can do pocket carry with this. I've got it in my pocket. I can access it quickly with an ice pick, or I can pull it this way and get into some reverse edge methodology. Not to mention, these clips allow you to carry these knives on sweatpants, hiking shorts, yoga pants. You don't even have to have a belt with them. Something else I like about the pocket carry is this hook grabs the inside of the pocket versus the clip grabbing the outside of the pocket like with some of these other pocket clips you can buy. I tore a hole in some pants one time with an ulti clip. I think most of us would agree that Tanto knives are great fighting knives for a number of reasons. Piercing ability, snap cuts, and it's just a slicing machine. And this one even has some serration. Now, this is a chisel grind, and I know that a lot of people I've talked to here on YouTube are not a fan of chisel grind, But this is going to be easy to sharpen, and I can understand soldiers wanting something that they can easily sharpen out in the field. You can even get down with a file and get these grooves, but this right here is designed to wreck. Another great attribute of this type of blade is the ability to pierce through layers. In past reviews, I've talked about, winter carry and summer carry. And I've talked about method with regards to winter and summer. For example, if you are a slicer and you're going to be slicing against somebody who's wearing a lot of layers, you may not be that effective. But if you're going up against someone with a lot of layers, you need the ability to pierce. You might want to work with your ice pick grip a lot because, when you've got layers, you can't just slice and have a lot of success unless you're able to, make connections with vitals here or here. But that's easier said than done. And some people might be wearing clothing that protects even those vitals. But if you've got something that you can pierce with and you're going up and against an assailant that's well dressed, something like this is going to take care of the problem. There's a lot of advantages with this knife, as we talked about, especially in carry options and in its design. With boxing and martial arts, our dominant hand is in the back, our dominant leg is here. But with knife fighting, it's the opposite. You want your weapon out front. You want your other hand out of the way. I don't fight like this. Keep your other hand out of the way. Now, when I say knife fighting, I'm not necessarily talking about getting in a knife duel with someone. You definitely want to avoid that at all costs. But I'm talking about knife defense, knife fighting in general. You don't want your hand out here to be grabbed, or if they have a knife, you don't want them to be able to cut your hand. You want to keep your other hand out of the way. And when it comes to traditional grip, it's good to understand the slicing angles and the thrust. You have your jab, you have your X slash. Now you can do that in tight or you can do it wide. It just varies. You have your cross slash, your downward slice, but you've also got your thrusting options. Coming from this angle, thrusting here, 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 and here. With the ice pick grip, it's always good if you can to use your thumb as a reinforcement, and this has a comfortable end on it for you to be able to do that. The ice pick is good for jabs this way. If you have to pierce even this way, you're able to pierce and turn this way. For this type of slash, you can come up this way. You can pierce back this direction as well. What I'd like to do is leave you with a drill that you can work on. We're going to do an X slash and a thrust. For example, you can be here, X slash, thrust, X, X, thrust. Now you can practice the X in close, or you can do one wide. You can practice it both ways. X, thrust, and move around with it, thrust. You can start incorporating another thrust, X, X, thrust, thrust, X, X, thrust, thrust, and just practice moving with it. Don't stay in the same spot. Just keep your hand back out of the way, and X, X, thrust. And I have to throw this in here. Be careful training with a live blade. Something like this is really not too dangerous, but still just be mindful that you've got a live blade in your hand and don't come down and slice yourself. Another thing to remember is you can carry this from different positions. Practice quick deployment. For example, like I've got mine in my pocket, I'm able to deploy it in the ice pick position. I can strike, I can do jabs, 1, 2, 1, 2, move around and do jabs from different positions. You can do upward slashes, pierce this way, turning this way, or coming this way. All kinds of different ways that you can slash in this position. And also remember what I said earlier. If you got this in your pocket, you can pull it this way for ice pick, or if you grabbed it in a traditional grip from a pocket carry, you've now got reverse edge. So your options are endless once you learn the various ways you can flow with your knife. Taliban Takedown, ladies and gentlemen. You can order this from a lot of different places, but if you order it from Tops, you get a couple of extra things. You get their catalog, and you also get some oil to keep these things lubed up with. This thing is beautiful and bad to the bone, and you can carry it in many ways. Do you have the Taliban Takedown? How do you carry yours? What do you think about this knife? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care.